There's something she's hiding. And After the Hunt is designed to make us feel it in every frame. We start with eyes darting across the room, ticking in time with a clock. The hunt has begun, but the weapons aren't guns. They're secrets, accusations, betrayals. The truth is, everyone's hunting, and everyone's also being hunted by someone else. And a big thanks to one of my viewers for inspiring how this all ends. The director, Luca Guadagnino, known for making Challengers and Call Me By Your Name, masterfully tells the story through blocking and production design. And this shot is the perfect example. Hank, played by Andrew Garfield, has his sights set on Maggie, a bright student.
Bullshit.
Alma, played by Julia Roberts, ignores both of them, looking playfully to her husband, Frederick. And Maggie holds her ground, a member of a younger generation that won't be intimidated. Alma is a tenured professor at a prestigious university in Cambridge, and Guadagnino surrounds her with symbols of status. And that's why we see this beautiful oak paneling everywhere in the opening scene. Rooms with layers of walls, door frames, and hidden recesses. You can almost feel all the layers of secrets and tradition buried in these frames. A lot of the story is told through vivid color and stylized lighting. In this shot, it begins with a visual metaphor. A foreshadowing of Alma's house of cards about to collapse. She's bathed in the stark green light. These teal tones create a sickly atmosphere. They make her and her friends feel isolated. Meanwhile, the red light surrounding the younger patrons builds tension. It's emotional heat, and it feels like it's closing in on Alma. And the storytelling in this shot isn't exactly subtle either. Here's how I read it. Chapel evokes religion, confession, guilt. West suggests the American West, often symbolic of old world values, like cowboys who do whatever they want and get away with it. Wine and liquors, to me, hints at coping, a way of escaping conflict or pain. And right next to it is, you guessed it, an alternate universe one step away. One thing that's not really secret is that Alma has a secret, and Guadagnino shows us visually. First, the way she toys with that peephole. And later, we watch her through a keyhole. She's literally framed by secrecy.
What are you saying happened?
He crossed the line.
Maggie accuses Hank of harassment.
Oh, Maggie cheated.
He's reflected back at us, multiplied in a matrix of mirrors. Each reflection perhaps suggesting a different version of the story, to redirect blame back onto Maggie. It's Hank's word against hers. And I think we find out what happens to Hank. The handyman removing his placard doesn't just signal his termination. At an institution this revered, I think to Hank, this feels like a form of erasure. And, because they happen to work in the philosophy department, it's not just a job being taken away. This is potentially an ideological shift. And Alma feels it. Remember when she was bathed in green light at the bar? Now Hank is wearing a sickly green shirt. It feels like toxic poison. Even his call on Alma's phone lights up in bright green. And beneath it all, the ticking grows louder and faster. Until it stops. Not on Hank or Alma, but on Frederick. What's he doing with his hands frozen in the air like that? Let's circle back. Remember when he was making silly faces with Alma about Maggie? Then watching Alma kiss Hank in the kitchen, and she brushes it off.
We're friends.
And then, this ominous shot of Frederick half in dramatic shadow.
We lie to each other so blatantly.
Is this composition revealing a deeper conflict he's trying to hide? And notice the handkerchief. He spins it casually at the party. The same one Maggie later finds hidden under the sink, like a secret message waiting for her. Now, to me, this frozen moment clicks into place. Frederick isn't stunned. He's conducting, orchestrating the hunt of his own wife. And how about all those pots and pans hanging down, like slabs of meat in a butcher's shop, like a hanging graveyard of the hunted? So, is Frederick really orchestrating the fall of his wife Alma? Or is he just paralyzed by rage? It's hard to say for sure. But it leaves me wondering, how deep and how dangerous is Alma's secret? And when it finally does get out, what happens after the hunt?